Hi guys, welcome back to this episode 5 of the Vox Chatter Podcast, a podcast all about everything 40k and Games Workshop related. As usual, I've got Brett with me today.
Hello!
And we've got back Joel.
Hello, I have returned.
It's been a while since we've had Joel on the show, but he's back, so we actually have all three of us today to discuss stuff. So that's great, that's good news. Where have you been, Joel?
You say like all three of us.
A little bit of here, a little bit of
Well,
there.
there's more than 3 of us, we've got 3 people again. It's been a while since we've had an episode where we've actually had 3 people.
Just been about.
So it's great that we're getting these in more regularly as well now. We're actually starting to produce a range of episodes, which is wonderful. Jumping straight into it, tonight's main topic is, do we need any more Primarchs? Because this is all speculation essentially, based on the release of the Dark Angels, and whether or not we suspect we may or may not see the return of Lionel Johnson.
There could be a surprise and they could go, surprise, here's some news.
No.
I know.
That's something we'll get onto in a bit, where I'm suspicious we might see Sanguinius in the future, but not anytime soon.
Well, I honestly think they might throw a curveball and not bring out Johnson, but bring out a totally different one, like maybe...
We said earlier on
Yeah.
the odds, like Russ. I can see Russ being...
coming back with the Space Wolves, or maybe even throwing a curveball and going, yeah, he's Vulcan, just randomly.
I don't think you'll get Vulcan because he's nothing like that. I don't think you'll get any of the Primarchs that could have been in the Space Marine Codex. That's what Gulliman's job was. Because Codex Space Marines, for the last couple of editions, has always been
Codex
Ultramarines.
Yeah.
Plus,
Here's a character with some extra rolls for the extra chapters. Done.
yeah. So, yes, albeit this one doesn't feel like Codex Ultramarines anymore, it still kind of holds that because Gorman's in it and there's Gorman out at the minute.
Now, with things being introduced with data sheets and stuff now, it is easier for them to just throw something out there and go, this is now part of this faction.
That's why I was thinking maybe they throw a bit of a curveball out, because Games Workshop never do anything to the mould, do they really?
But by virtue of having codexes dedicated to their legions, gives a little nod or more gravitas to, say, Johnson or Russ. And we've just had Mortarion now, so it feels like the Loyalists need something to level that playing field a little bit. You know.
I honestly think with Magnus floating around, it'd be rude for Russ not to come back. That's the first one I thought were going to come back. I honestly think Russ were going to come back, but because Ultramarines, Gulliman were the first one.
I have to admit, I had thought about that actually, that yes, bringing Russ back would be a nice counterpoint of having Magnus in the universe.
Yeah. I honestly thought that he'd follow him. I did.
They've attempted to generate a little bit of a modern day rivalry between Gulliman and Mortarion while fighting over the Ultramar segment.
Did they ever have any beef before, really? Or?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think they had any particular beef. I mean, it's just sort of a 41st millennium narrative. They've added that rivalry.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, anyway. If anyone knows otherwise, if there's some unknown back history between Mortarion and Gulliman that we're not aware of, please let us know. Blood Angels is literally just released like this past weekend. Lo and behold, no Sanguinius. What a surprise! He's dead.
Yeah,
So
he's a bit dead.
He's not dead.
well, yeah,
He is
that's
dead.
the thing.
No, he's not.
He is dead.
He's on the edge. He's like
dead.
He's Gulliman. He's what
no,
Gulliman
he's worse
used to
than
be.
Gulliman. He's still like couldn't have a heartbeat and stuff there. Like he's at the point where if the technology ever gets there, they could bring him back, but he's so mangled and destroyed. He doesn't even have wings anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it just so happens so they don't have to do a model.
Sanguineless. But this is an interesting point they've raised on like the
Warhammer TV
and stuff recently, is where they're basically saying that, you know, yeah, if they want, they can. It's not retconning the history, but it's basically saying, yeah, we control the narrative, so if we want, we could basically do anything, because they can create a narrative reason for it to happen.
Yeah, it's not like they're going off history or anything like that.
The thing is, I'm one of the biggest fans of the Blood Angels. I've had an arm with them and stuff, but I still don't want Sanguinius to come back. As much as I like the character, I think the heroic sacrifice thing is cool. He was a heroic sacrifice and he died fighting. I'd like that to be the end of his story, do you know what I mean? I don't want him to come back.
Well, here's the other thing is, I think ultimately I'd be fine if they want to bring Sanguinius back, but I don't think they want to do it.
The Chaos ones are actually dead though, are they?
Basically not, no.
So none of the Chaos Primarchs died? You've
Well,
got
there's
Turbo,
Horus.
which is-
Literally, Horus is more or less the only one who actually guaranteed died.
The rest of them had.
Yeah, and then you've
But then, in the same way that Sanguinius absolute guaranteed died, and look how guaranteed that is now.
Yeah, we got Perturbo. Perturbo is 100%. Does that have a
Turbo's
head?
not dead.
No, Perturbo's not
Not
dead.
Perturbo.
That's
Ferrus
Ferrus
Manus.
Ferrus Manus, yeah, Ferrus is
So
dead.
he has no head.
Yeah, Ferrus is dead, essentially. You know,
So
he
if
was
they
killed.
don't potentially, if they're going down the route of bringing all the Primarchs back for Loyalist and for Chaos, the Imperium ones, the Loyalist ones, will be outnumbered.
You know what? I'd actually give them a
Well, I
chance
think
to
that's
do with
good.
Ferrus, right? It'd be ridiculous. But if they made him
Robocop.
made him a dreadnought, if they had a dreadnought Primarch,
But he's got no head.
his head's the thing that's in it.
So it's like a brain in a jar.
Yeah, think Futurama in a dreadnought.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, they could do that.
That's what I mean. Like that, and that's an extreme concept, but that's the sort of thing that they could do if they wanted.
Thing is, there's loads of different Primarchs that could literally just walk back.
Yes.
Vulcan just could walk.
Like, so the other one who supposedly is dead of the Loyalists is Dawn, but he's also is the easiest one to go. He wasn't dead all along, because the thing of he's dead and all he found of him was his fist.
Yeah, but the thing is, he wanted
No,
the
no.
warp drive that he punched.
No,
Yes, well, the plasma core or something.
I'm
I don't
sure
know
if
exactly
you
what
read
it was.
the Marine book,
Because you thinking he got zapped through the wall, but his
Skeletons
fist got
in
left
the
behind.
fortress.
Yeah, he could have done, yeah.
Exactly. Dawn feels like the easiest one for them to explain as here he is. Turns out he wasn't dead.
He's just not got an arm. He's just got
Yeah.
one arm.
Like, we know Khan, Korax, Vulcan,
They all
Ross.
just went off. Didn't
They're elsewhere. They're not around,
Well,
but we knew they weren't dead when they
Vulcan
left.
just left and went. When you get all the pieces to the puzzle, basically, I'll return.
Yeah, but the thing of the Travellers apparently got him, haven't they? That's
Well,
the
yeah.
speculation.
The Tyzan the Infinite, whatever he's called,
Yeah.
the Necron collector guy.
Apparently he's got him.
What a dick.
And apparently he's released him. I can't remember
Like,
where I read it,
yeah.
so don't hold me to that.
Let him
But
back out to the
apparently
world.
he's let him back out, to see what goes on.
So,
there.
whilst there's a few various ones that we know they could easily bring back, some that feel like they're inevitably going to come back, it feels like Russ is going to reappear at some point. He'll just come back out of the wall with his company of, pre-heresy space wolves still hanging out with him. He'll go see Bajan, fist bump him, thanks for looking after the chapter.
Hopefully, none of them will be Wolfen because Gorman will be like, what the fuck are they?
Yeah. But, so this is the point. I was talking to Kyle about this the other day, is Johnson feels tipped as a useful one they can bring back because he's not really going to be conflicting with Gulliman in any way.
No.
So all the Chaos Primarchs can all show up because they can all just do their own thing. They're not doing anything. Gulliman at the moment is more or less proxy running the Imperium because he's the only Primarch. He's the Imperial Regent. He basically is mini
He's
Emperor.
like the Lord of the Imperium now, isn't
He still works alongside the Lords of Terror and so on, and and he has some minimal limits to his power. And just by virtue of the fact that he can't be logistically running everything all at once, he's not literally the Emperor, but he is one of the highest ranking people in the Imperium now. He more or less effectively is like the president of the Imperium. And if you had someone like Dawn, for example, come back, what sort of reason does Dawn have any less of a claim to that than Gulliman, really?
In fact, Dawn would have more of a claim as being the steward.
Exactly,
So
the
he's
Steward
got
of Terror.
yeah.
Which, if they brought Sanguinius back, it's kind of, again, like, Gulliman actually elected Sanguinius as the new emperor of Segmentum Secundus in the Horus Heresy. It's like Gulliman thought Sanguinius would make a better leader of the Imperium than himself. So you've got these issues. There's a few issues about if other people come back or whatever, disputing things of Gulliman.
I don't think it.
I think you could get the Lion. If the Lion came back, he'd almost want to do like a penance crusade.
My point is that if Johnson comes back, he's going to be more like, all right, Gulliman, you do whatever. You run the Imperium. That's fine. I've got issues to do with my chapter. I've got things I need to be doing. I need to be finding Fallen, I need to find
No, I don't think
Luther,
it
I need to do
necessarily
whatever.
just be like, oh, I'm going to do a penance crusade, and then he'd go hunting the Fallen and...
Well, yeah, because basically I think what it'd be is he'd basically sit down and go like, right, what's gone on with my chapter in the past 10,000 years? I need to sort out I need to clean house, I need to sort my chapter out.
Ooh,
And at the same time, Johnson feels like one who would be comparable on rules terms to Guilliman. In the, he's not Russ, so he's not suddenly like the, semi-wolf and crazy combat, want to murder all the psychers ever guy. He's not sanguineous, going, look at me, I'm the angelic flying being of greatness.
No, he's a leader.
Yeah.
He's a leader of men.
He's not Korvax, who would be flying around on his jump pack. He's not Khan, who'd be riding around on his bike, anything like that. Like, Johnson feels like something roughly on par, but not the same as Guilliman.
Yeah.
In the same way that what they've done with Mortarion is Mortarion feels very much on par with Magnus. Like, they feel like similar entities. They're very unique in what they do and their own thing, but they don't feel like... I don't feel particularly bothered if I'm facing a Mortarion or a Magnus. I don't think, oh, thank God, at least it's not the other one.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, they are...
Two big punchy demon guys.
And I think you could get that same sort of level out of Johnson compared to Guilliman. But then, on the other end of the scale, there's simply the question of, do we need another Imperial Primarch to come back?
My answer would be, well, just because I'm an Ultramarine player and fan, don't mean I wouldn't want other Primarchs to come back, but I honestly think no.
And I'm kind of siding on your side with that, because the Demon Primarchs just feel like, here's another big flashy Chaos monster. Ooh, he runs around in your Chaos Forces. And I don't particularly see any real reason why they need anyone more than Guilliman. He's doing the job.
No, they just needed someone to run the Imperium.
Yeah, and he's back. He is.
I honestly think it's better for the Imperial to be outnumbered by Primarchs, because that's what the Imperium does. They're always on the back foot. And you think about what loyalist Primarchs are. I know this story's basically been all Guilliman's been resurrected and all this, but if you think about it, Demon Primarchs can never truly be killed.
Yeah, that's...
Mortal ones can.
If you're going to start bringing back every sort of loyalist Primarch, you're going to end up in a position where you devalues them if you're not going to let any of them die.
Yeah, so you've got to be killing your Primarchs off to bring them back, I feel.
So they'd take it in turns. Guilliman gets killed, then Johnson comes back. Johnson gets killed, then Russ comes back. Russ gets killed, then so on.
There'd still be more, but I do think there'd be more themed deaths. I mean, some of the lesser talked about Primarchs, like Vulcan, he'd come back, and I reckon he'd be one that they would put on the chopping board. You know what I mean? He would come back and die.
Well, Vulcan's whole thing is that he can't die.
Exactly. That's what I mean. They'd find a way. No, I don't think they need more Primarchs. I think they'd want to release more Primarchs. The community wants to release more Primarchs. I'd be happy with more Primarchs, but I just don't think...
It doesn't feel like a requirement. Like, it almost feels now like I can see the entire cycle of the surviving Chaos ones all slowly appearing over the next years.
I don't think
why did the World Eaters not have Angron? Why did the Emperor's Children not have Fulgrim?
Because he's sulking. He is, though.
Well, Fulgrim's slated to be coming back soon. He's supposedly going to be the next Chaos one we get. And I'd love to see the model. I would love to see four-armed, winged, serpentine-bodied Fulgrim.
Yeah, well, he's got control of himself back, hasn't he? From turning into a demon, he got control of himself back.
He tricked the demon, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's like sulking a little bit.
Yeah, but he's still very much a Chaos Demon Primarch at this point.
Well, yeah, he's unretrievable now, really. You can't
They're practically all fallen heroes. Like, very few of them are just outright like, I just want to...
Do you know what character I'd love to see make a return to 40k universe?
Erebus.
No, exactly, yes.
Erebus. We need to...
It was mentioned in the Black Crusade.
I'm not up to date with the Horus Heresy book, so I don't know what his current state is, if he's KIA or anything like that.
No, he's still alive. He was mentioned in this Black Crusade, I'm sure he is.
Is he not a demon prince yet?
Erebus, no.
It's harder to influence mortals when you're a demon prince.
Yeah.
Like, you're a demon prince, but you're then bound by the laws of the Immaterium, and like you can't manifest in the warp all the time. It's harder to infiltrate stuff, obviously.
Chaos God's new Erebus was a convincer of man, so they don't want him to be a big scary demon. They want him to go around corrupting people.
Yeah, he's an orator.
Yeah, and he's one of the head of the Dark Council as well, so we can't really be a demon prince.
So, do we need more Imperial Primarchs? And if so, which ones? And do we want to see them?
If they're going to make stupid points costs of like Gorman, then no, we don't need them.
Like, so for example, how do you make Johnson feel like he's different to Gulliman?
Well, you give him all the same rules as Gorman.
Well, that's my point, right? Like,
And then equip him differently.
but he's still just going to have, I have a murdery sword of murder. I have a shooty gun of kill some guys. I'm going to provide rerolls of some variety because I'm a Space Marine leader.
Well, that's not just Gulliman's special rule, it's the Primarch rule. So basically, if he came back, he would have the exact same rules as Gulliman.
That's what I mean. Is every loyalist Primarch going to have all Imperial units within 12 inches of or whatever it is? 6 get reroll.
And then all chapter units get the reroll for hits and wounds, yeah. Right, so this is the topic I was saying to Joe earlier, right? I understand the whole reroll into hits with captains and stuff like that. They're an inspiring character, so your men are fighting that bit harder.
The directing them, the marking targets, stuff like that, you know, giving advice.
So why does Gulliman and Lieutenants let you reroll wounds?
Why is the weapon better?
Yeah, why is the weapon physically better?
In theory, they're calling shots. It's like, you know, shoot it here, shoot it there. Like, you know, like all the training we did where we keep knowing to shoot them here. But
yeah.
But I think it's a key point is that Mortarion feels different enough to Magnus because of the fact that it's like he has Nurgle rules. Magnus has Zinch rules. But is Johnson, really, for example, going to really be that drastically different to Gulliman?
That's why I don't think we need another one.
And I think it would be wonderful for people to have them to add to the collection. You know, to be able to go, I collect Dark Angels, I want to have Lionel Johnson.
As a collection standpoint, I reckon it'd be brilliant to bring them back, but as a game standpoint, I don't think they're needed.
So it's like a matter of like, well, if basically more or less every Legion gets its Primarch, but more of them more or less behave the same, are you basically just reducing it to here's the Primarch?
You've also got to be careful as well, because if you bring back too many, say you end up with Magnus, Mortarion, Fulgrim. How many points is Magnus?
No idea.
Over 400, I think.
So yeah, if they're all over 400 but under 500, then you can just take 4 Primarchs as an army.
Oh yeah, people are already sort of doing that in the tournament scene where it's basically just here's Magnus and Mortarion and then chaff, be it cultists or poxwalkers or brimstone horrors.
It's either brimstone or poxwalkers, isn't it?
Yeah, but the army is essentially here's Magnus and Mortarion. That's fine, that's tournament scene, that's tournament play.
I like Osam, it's really thematic.
Yeah, it's really themed, I love it.
And you know what would make it more themed?
Primarch.
Lionel Johnson.
It wouldn't. No, it really wouldn't.
No,
well,
Luther.
No, it wouldn't because
because not
he's
how
a
that
green
plays.
wing.
He's a green wing guy, he is. What would Johnson be running around with?
He can't keep up with the bikes.
You're going to have to drop pod him just so he can land with a death wing.
Well, no, he constantly advances to try and keep up with the bikes.
He's just running alongside the Raven wing.
Gulliman's movement 8.
Yeah, so if he's advancing, he can try and keep up with the bikes, which just seems like a waste of a Primarch. And what is he dropping to put him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like the point is it would be great as a collector's piece to have Johnson come back and have him join you 40k.
Well, what does he bring to the Dark Angels?
Yeah, he brings a lot of narrative points, but what does he actually bring to the army? And is he bringing anything that you couldn't just get with Gulliman? You know, is he just going to be Gulliman 2.0?
Is he basically going to go, instead of Ultramarines keyword, I'm bringing Dark Angels?
Yeah.
That's literally what Imperial ones will be.
So, yeah, so, like...
Unless he's a Space Wolf, then he'll get 5 more rules.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Russ is like a valid return? Like, is he something valid to bring back because he's going to be different? Because he'll behave differently to Johnson?
No, that would just
Gulliman.
that was just a little dig at how OP Space Wolves are.
I know, but it's almost got another bit of truth in it.
Could be a good one. He's on a bike.
Jigati Khan, yeah. I'd really like
he'd
to
play
see
differently because he'd actually be, you know...
Or Korvax with his jump pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that comes back to what I was saying. Bringing back a random one. Bringing back one that you'd never ever expect.
Because you're getting a Primarch which is playing differently to...
Foot slugging next to Hellblasters, basically.
So...
Oh no, walking up behind a wall of Razorbacks.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, riding up the backyard of a wall of Razorbacks if it's Khan. So... Although I think it would be really cool narratively for them to bring back Johnson, and I think he would be an easier one for them to return. I don't think he's an example of an Imperial Primarch that's needed. I don't think he brings much to the game, really.
I don't think any of them are needed.
But, so, should we all take a guess then on who do we think is the most likely one to actually see come back?
Russ.
I agree. I think Russ.
Because
I think he's the most likely one.
Let's just look at what Space Wolves always get.
Everything.
They can technically. Can they take Storm Ravens?
So you know we're
Well, they
gonna.
get a
No,
better
they've got their own version
They've
as
got a
frost
better-
weapons.
yeah,
that
they've
can
got a better
inflict
one.
mortal wounds.
Then they've got better weapons. They've got better power weapons. They've got better Terminators. They've got better veterans. They've got better troops.
Ultimately, I agree. I think Russ is the most likely one we'll actually see return to the tabletop, and perhaps he's. Why wouldn't be like I don't think any of ours first picks. He probably is one of the ones who varies enough from Gulliman to feel like he wouldn't just be a copy and paste.
Yeah, because he'll have 5 more rules. And he'll be 20 more less points.
He'll have his dogs as well.
Yes, he'll bring his dogs back with him. Won't
He'll
he?
be 300 points.
You know them 10,000-year-old dogs.
He's been in the warp time. So he's been 5 minutes for him.
So,
Chaos Primarchs, all for the return of Chaos Primarchs. I can see each one of them slowly just reappearing and bringing cool and interesting stuff, getting awesome models.
I'd like to see Lorgar, but
I'd like to see Lorgar. I think he'd be an interesting one to see. Presumably, Angron and Fulgrim feel like they're givens. They're going to make an appearance eventually.
I think Angron will be back. He's one of the big 3, isn't he?
Well, it's one of the big 4. It's the four god ones.
Yeah.
So it's slated to supposedly Fulgrim is going to be making the next appearance, and I'm fine with that. I think
Fulgrim's cool.
Since we got Magnus and then Mortarion, I think we'll see the core 4 before we see any of the others.
Yeah, I honestly think Fulgrim might be the last because they can do some funky rules with him because he's got his own mind.
You know, if I'm honest, I think you're only going to get the 4.
Yeah, and perhaps that's all it needs.
Yeah.
All we need is the 4 Chaos ones and Gulliman,
One more
and then
Primarchs, play 30k.
Yeah,
I don't think
Go
they'll ever
play
bring
Horus
that
Heresy.
many back. They'll only bring a couple back. That's why I don't think the Imperial ones will make a massive return. I think you'll be.
Who would you
to
say
see
the
two.
main ones? It'll be all the ones that sort of get their own book.
yeah. So if in theory
Which
no
is why I thought Johnson would come back.
if in theory no Sanguinius, he will.
He's dead.
Yeah, and then Johnson and Russ can make a return, and then you get the 4 Chaos Legion ones.
Yeah.
You
the
need
4 god
one
ones.
more loyalist one more, don't you, to tie it up. You might get 2 generic Space Marine ones.
I think Dawn's one they could actually bring back that would sort of drop in neatly enough, and not really disrupt much. I mean, I think Khan will be an easy one for them to bring back
Because
narratively.
Khan they could just send out on a crusade like he's off headhunting.
Yeah.
They can just go, right, Khan wants Mortarion dead, or Khan wants Fulgrim dead, so he's hunting him down. Strikes up a new campaign.
Vulcan.
Why is it?
Vulcan.
I said that though, didn't I?
Because Vulcan's not dead.
No, he's not.
Corax
He's
isn't
not
dead.
Khan, not dead. Russ, not dead.
Dawn is a hard one. Sanguinius is a hard one.
Ferrus Manus, practically possible.
Or if
But then that's it.
You might get one controversial as the 4th one, like, oh my god, I did not ever see that one coming.
If we'd had this conversation like a year ago, 18 months ago, I would not have pegged Gulliman as being the first one to come back.
No.
Because
I would have. He's there, you could physically see him.
you
Well,
could
you're in
go
stasis,
see
so-
him.
And you could say to anybody in the Imperium, where's Rabute Gorman?
He's on McCrag.
Go to McCrag, he's sat on a big throne in a stasis field.
Thank God they won the battle for McGrag, otherwise he would have been bloody chimp food.
So yeah, that about sort of wraps up all our thoughts on the Primarchs and their possible return across the 41st millennium. Definitely let us know, guys, which you think are your bets on who's likely to come back and why, and which ones you'd like to see back and why. And hopefully we won't end up with too many votes for Russ.
Falling out with Space Wolves, but he is probably going to be the next one.
So, moving on, as we always do after the main topic, we'll move on to favourite moments. the part of the podcast where we talk about the recent things we've done in games that were particularly heroic or infamous, or that we just particularly enjoyed and couldn't believe happened. Joel, you've not been with us for a little while, so perhaps you've got a backlog of some favourite moments that have recently happened in your
I've
armies.
got quite a few, to be honest. The stupidest, most ridiculous moment ever that you are included in is when my Predator opened fire on your fucking Annihilation barge. Did 14 wounds to it and he just chinned them all off with your stupid quantum shielding.
Yeah, that was
funny. Kyle's face when I was like resurrecting Hellblasters with my apothecary as well was absolutely hilarious. You were like, what,
I've not actually seen that in action a great deal. But is it good?
Yeah, really, really good. Resurrecting Hellblasters. Hard to kill as it is.
Yeah, I normally drop Earthshaker shells on them.
If I could save the points, I'd have liked to, as my 2 elite options, put in the Standard Bearer and the Apothecary. So you
die, fire, get back up, die, fire.
Yeah, I think that'd be quite good.
That'd be cool narratively though. Like, you guys are literally fighting on the verge of death because they're dealing with, basically fatal injuries and they're still fighting on.
It's a 4+ to just get back up with 1 wound.
Yeah.
So that guy is going to be the first guy to die, but at least he gets to get back up and fire again. Then if he's the first guy to die, the banner guy can make him fire.
Yeah, or if he survives till next turn, the Apothecary can just pop another wound on him.
Yes.
If it's a Primarchs.
It's follow up though, and it's still...
No? Is it?
I think so.
I don't think because if you fail it, the Apothecary does nothing.
Because he's recovering. It might be that he can just heal a wound on an injured model.
Heal stuff.
He can just heal stuff, but if he's trying to bring a guy back...
The 4+, because if he fails, he's busy harvesting Gene Seed.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the one actual moment, like the one particular roll or fight or trophy kill?
Trophy kill?
Well, it doesn't have to be trophy kill, but just whatever particular.
Something that's ridiculous. The first game I played with Gulliman, when he walked up to one of Lewis's dreadnoughts and dealt 21 wounds to it.
As he does.
Before it even got to move, so the like smoke coming off its arse. That was quite fun. Just all the games I've had with my Marines, like I thought they were going to play similar to my Word Bearers, where it was just Rhino, rush up, get out, melt the gun stuff. But no, they play really fun. My veterans holding the middle of the board against your entire Necron army, that one sergeant who refused to die. Just everything about my Marine army I'm loving at the moment. So, I know the Smurfs, but I just love them.
Gulliman plunging his sword through a dreadnought for the first time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Primarchs Marines very much feel like how Marines should be, and you very much get the flavour off them in the battlefield of doing what Marines should.
Yeah, they kick ass, man, they really are.
Like that one sergeant I played against you, where I think I brought it up as one of my favourite moments last time, where he just denied you like 5 victory points and gained me like 3.
I'm trying to think, so I don't think I've actually played a game since.
We haven't played a game since.
Last podcast.
We've been busy painting and hobbying.
It's the fact that we've actually got the podcast happening.
I have actually got a favourite moment, but it also goes to my own favourite moment, so it's not gaming related, it's actually hobbying related. So I managed to pick up a bargain on eBay and get myself a Cerastus Knight Castigator, which I was really happy for. Got it for like £100. Proper Forge World one, not one of the Chinese knockoff ones, because I know they're circulating. Completely unbuilt, built him from scratch. Had to reposition his leg, built him all up and everything, but unfortunately found out he's on the wrong base size, which it doesn't really matter. I could maybe go back and rectify it. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed building that model up, and I'm actually set myself a goal of paint up my Marines once they're finished painted. Then my treat to myself is painting that guy up.
That's a good point. I think favourite building project is a nice like topic, because I really enjoy building.
Even like painting, you can get satisfaction from
just painting
finishing
stuff,
a squad of men, or even finishing some terrain and being like, wow, that looks how I intended it to be, and it's just a little win. Even though it's not on a tabletop,
it's still a win, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that vein then, my favourite moment is still ongoing. My favourite hobby moment recently is the essentially Necromunda terrain that I've been putting together for us all.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah, so we've pitched in as a group of 6, and we bought essentially like 3 sets of the Promethean refinery terrain. So we've got like loads of stuff for this industrial terrain, and it's going to be really fun to play 40k on. I think I've got it working in such a way that it's a little bit modular, so it's not just one set configuration. It's got varying levels of height to it. It's not just ground level, first level. There's a few different sort of tiers to it, and the way we've achieved that is actually by using the original Necromunda wall sections that we had from years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, I donated them to a good cause so they can be used again.
And they work so well to actually create these industrial building sections, and it's clearly not intentional that the newest kits were designed that if you had these they could work with them, but they work so neatly with them anyway that it's come together really well, and I'm really pleased with how it's looking, and hopefully in the next week or so it'll actually be put together and we might be able to get a game on a very industrial heavy terrain board. Yeah, how do we reckon it's going to be playing on a board that's like a good 1/3 that like industrial terrain?
Good. I think it'll be good.
It's going to create interesting dilemmas for vehicles more than anything.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of line of sight obstruction. There's going to be restricted movement. You can't.
It'd be good to deploy out of fire at a different level.
Yes. Actually have things like venoms and battle suits and stuff that are capable of flying. They can just jump around the levels. When I played Kyle's Orcs with my with my Necrons, and I was testing out the Catacomb Command Barge, and we had like the silos and stuff. It was hilarious when one of the two of the game turns, my Lord just floated off in his Catacomb Command Barge. He went, "I'm not fighting that horde of Orcs. I'm just going to float up on top of this silo because I can fly." And then a lot of Orcs proceeded to climb up the silo after him. And it looked amazing, and I'm hoping we get that kind of moment with the industrial terrain.
Yeah. I think it's your podcast, man, but I think we should have a favourite modelling moment that we.
So a favourite hobby moment and favourite gaming moment.
Yeah.
I think we can do that.
I think that's a good idea.
Because you don't always get a game in.
We can easily adapt moving forward. Also, guys, if you have any ideas or suggestions for things you'd like us to talk about, or if you've got any questions or content you'd like to write in with as well, leave it all in the comments below, and we will happily discuss anything, really. So anything 40k related. We will move on to new releases, and there's a big one this week. That is the release of Chapter Approved in its latest 2017 iteration, and the first of the new annual play updates for Warhammer 40k, and it covers everything from matched play to narrative play to things such as Planet Strike and Stronghold Assault, and we have a copy of it now, don't we?
Yeah.
We thought we'd just have a little go through some of the new stuff that's in it, and boy is there stuff. There is plenty of good things going on in there.
I really like the new Chapter Approved. I like the thing that gets me the most is I like the addition of the 12 new missions effectively for Maelstrom and Eternal War.
Yes, I love the new Maelstrom missions. I think that is something I wasn't expecting them to include in this, to actually give us a more expanded roster of missions for things that sort of already exist, but it's like, here's more of it. We can roll up to a game now, and actually, rather than rolling for 1 out of 6 missions, we can roll 1 out of 12.
Yeah,
and I really like Planet Strike and all the other Strongholds.
Yeah, Planet Strike was good.
I just got the book, and then the edition changed.
8th edition came out, and it was like, remember 7th edition? You can't even look at that anymore.
I always really enjoyed Cities of Death. Now, although that's the thing that's not exactly quite school. Here.
Old school, mate.
It's the Planet Strike and Stronghold Assault are those sort of like alternate ways of playing that are in that vein. But yeah, unfortunately, Cities of Death is not something that's actually covered in Chapter Approved. However, it has got Planet Strike, it has got Stronghold Assault, it's got 6 new Eternal War missions, 6 new Maelstrom of War missions. It's got the Etheric, what's it called?
Etheric Storm.
Yep, which basically is... It's more or less the old Warp Storm rule for demons in reimagined.
Well, it's the Etheric Storm that they had in Gathering Storm, isn't it?
That lasted for like a whole month.
Yeah.
Don't mind me about it.
Yeah. What happened with that again?
I'm looking forward to giving the Etheric Storm rules a whirl with my demons when we play. It's definitely, like you said, you've said, if you're going to play me with demons, we just want to see them in action.
It's random and...
Joel, your Grey Knights versus my demons in that storm.
God, yeah.
Psychers and demons getting all the
buffs, debuffs, death.
debuffs, transformations.
Bloodthirster fighting with me.
No invuns for either player would be ridiculous.
Your Terminators get no invun. Okay, my little demons would just fall over, but as soon as anything hits your Terminators in my army, you'd probably just die.
Yeah, the only thing they'd have to basically have for toughness is the 3 wounds.
Something I've been meaning to buy for ages, just when I get round to it, is ordering the open war cards, which are basically, it's practically like the Etheric Storm, but it's a load of additional modifiers that modify the mission. So you know how so there are a bunch of cards that they brought out like a couple of months after 8th edition released, and they're intended to represent all sorts of obscure things going on. Be it like more narrative twists, so things like you're fighting on a battlefield where there's a space battle going on above, so there's debris falling to the field.
I didn't know these existed.
Yes, there's stuff like one of your generals has got an old grudge against the opposing general for this campaign or whatever, so like you get some extra tactics or command points or new stratagems and stuff like that.
So basically anyone versus your Scar brand then, yeah? Because everyone's got a good Scar brand.
Or stuff like you play like an ambushed game where one player gets to like bring back a load of dead units and stuff, because actually it's like the second wave. There's all sorts of things, and basically it's a bit like a tiered system where if you're playing equal points, you use so many cards, and if you're playing unequal points, then one person gets more of cards, and so on.
Playing unequal points?
Well, in this sort of circumstance, like, so if I want to play all my Necrons, but you know Brett wanted to play all his Tau, he could do. Like
that would be.
We could play like a 3,000 v 1,000 point game, but a lot of the open war cards would all be in my favour. You know, where it would actually just be I'd get to bring back on a load of my stuff after it died. So actually, I'm playing like 2,000 points or whatever. But it's also to represent things like battlefields and battlefield environments. But we're going to get a little sidetracked, because that's the open war cards, and that's not quite what's in chapter approved. However, there are some very similar things, such as you've got a load of stratagems for fighting in like hive worlds and like mechanicum sectors. So you get things like being able to use grappling hooks and stuff to ascend with units that couldn't normally just jump up floors. Yeah. You can have your intercessor squad suddenly leap up to the top floor of a building because it uses grappling hooks.
Isn't that what Reavers do?
Yeah, Reavers.
Yeah, essentially.
They just can go on 24 hour go.
Yeah, so like Battlezone industrial worlds, you've got stratagems that include grappling hooks, power supply, overload power cores, plasma feeds, siphon promethium, supercharged obliteration,
sounds right,
and long bomb. Supercharged obliteration, industrial world stratagem. Use a stratagem after you fired a plasma obliterator in the shooting phase. If that building is within 6 inches of a hemotrope reactor, fire the plasma obliterator again. So that's like using the big weapons in the scenery. But then you've got things like grappling hooks. Use a stratagem at the start of your movement phase. Select one of your infantry units. For the duration of your turn, models in this unit can ascend or descend sector mechanica structures when they move, even without a ladder, wall, or girder. Furthermore, for the duration of a turn, do not count any vertical distance the unit moves against the total it moves. That's something we're going to have to get used to in this edition. Like, moving up and down floors is not 3 across, 3 up sort of thing. It's actual true distance. So if you move, 6 inches as an infantry model, if you have to spend 3 of it moving up, that's 3 of your inches of your movement used.
Yeah.
So stratagems like that become really relevant. And then in addition to things like new sector rules and new stratagems for terrains and the kind of battlefields you're in, you've also got a selection of new stratagems and relics and warlord traits for the various index armies that do not currently have a codex.
Yes, which is good. It's just that little bit of extra that they needed just to feel like they could sort of compete a bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting that this is what we covered the other month, actually, with the our debate on the difference between collecting index and codex armies, and we sort of came to the conclusion that you sort of wanted to be putting focus on your codex armies, and if you're going to play games, they tended to play out better at the moment with an index army versus an index army, or a codex army versus a codex army. And that is being mitigated a little bit by the release of Chapter Approved.
So yes, you don't have stratagems, yes, you don't have potentially any new cool rules or cool units or anything like that, but you've had your points cost addressed in a lot of armies, and you've got a warlord trait, so which is a bit more towards the race that you play with, and you have got 1 or 2 new stratagems. Sorry.
Yeah.
You've got a relic. Each army that doesn't have its own codex, apart from demons, blood angels, dark angels, have got their own relics.
As those particular armies are getting their new codexes in a matter of months. Literally like last week, next month. So yeah, there's plenty. So like practically everyone now has at least a warlord trait, a relic, a stratagem or 2 that they can play around with. So it just gives a little more diversity. Like, if I play Kyle's orcs with my Necrons again, we won't just both be going for the standard stratagems. Kyle will be trying to mob up his units or fire more Daka, while I'll be trying to improve reanimation protocols, rather than both of us just going, well, I guess we'll counter it. Yeah, reroll.
I'll pass this morale, reroll. I don't even know what the third one is. Fight,
counter-offensive.
Yeah.
Now, while that is very important to the orcs, that's literally all Kyle uses his command points on, his counter-offensives. He barely even uses rerolls, because rerolls aren't that important to him, because he doesn't have like singular important dice rolls to make.
He's got mass.
He just he achieves things through weight of dice, so it doesn't need to reroll individual dice. The orc mob up stratagem is brilliant. It's a really neat way of bringing back the orc mob up rule.
I like it, and you could make 2 squads 1.
It's got really interesting connotations where if you've got 3 squads and one like lined up, as it were, across the battlefield, one on far end gets gunned down and is going to suffer morale, and the mob next to it is also gunned down and is going to suffer to morale. What you can do is you can merge the middle mob with the far mob, and now your squad size is back up to 30, and they'll be within 6 inches of the far mob. So now you've taken like the 20 odd guys that are over on the far side of the battlefield, and by merging your mobs, you've made that unit now be within 6 inches.
Yeah.
So you've improved the morale of the next unit down the line. And it comes at a fortuitous time, just as one of the Maelstrom missions now reintroduces kill points as a thing that sort of happens in the mission. So you can start attempting to deny kill points by merging your mobs up.
Have you read that mission, Joel?
No, I haven't read that.
It's basically a standard vanilla Maelstrom mission, 3 missions each turn. But in addition to that, you also get a victory point for every unit you kill.
Cool.
So it's basically kill points.
It's called Kill Confirmed. You just have 3 tactical objectives, and if you've got less than 3, you generate 3.
Mm.
And the victory conditions, you've got Linebreaker, First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and no quarter given. Each player scores 1 victory point for each enemy unit that is destroyed.
Oh, cool.
Now, while I immediately jumped to like, oh god, that's going to be horrible for my guard, because I have so many characters just roaming around that are easy to just murder. Each one of them's worth a victory point to you now. That's like them all being the Warlord. It's like I don't want any of them to die because they keep offering up victory points. But I don't care, because that's one of 12 potential missions now that I might play. And if it shows up every now and again, cool, I have a challenging game that game. I have to think tactically. I have to do unusual things.
I like that you... Because normally, guard just swarm all over every objective, then all of a sudden, I need to go and get them objectives, but I'm also just going to be throwing units at my opponent.
Yeah, I'll actually be using the combined squads stratagem. So rather than me actually going, I'm going to put units in ambush, I'm like, no, I'm going to sit all 6 infantry squads just here, like in like a 6-pack of units.
I do really
and
like
every turn combined another 2 of them together and keep reducing my squad count.
No, I do really like all the new missions, especially for Maelstrom. I think Maelstroms are the ones that play the game better, really.
They've always
rather than just going at the end of the game, what do I have? It's what have I earned through the game.
They have always been our favourites, aren't they, really?
Yeah, we've always been big advocates of Maelstrom. Although, I am thinking we need to start playing a few more of the narrative missions. some of them are dead simple. Some of the ones in the main rulebook, like, have you ever seen? It's called Last Stand or whatever it is, and you play an unbalanced game because you play where the attacker has twice as many points as the defender.
That sounds awful.
Right? Do you know what the victory? There's one victory condition, Joel. There's no missions.
Survive.
No, it's not even that. At the end of the game turn, that the game ends. I'm just got random game length. Whoever has the closest model to the centre of the table wins the game.
Oh, bloody hell.
Because the deployment is the defender is literally like 12 inches or 24 inches, whatever it is, from the centre, and they deploy a circle, and the attackers are deployed around the entire board around them. The only condition on winning the game is whoever has the closest model to the centre of the table. And while that might be, abusive for someone who takes a list designed to play that in a competitive way, where you just go, I'm going to pack 4 land raiders, back corner to back corner, so all 4 of them are equidistant from the centre of the table, all on top of each other, so you have to clear all 4 land raiders, otherwise I just win. That's not what those things are intended for. But if we play a game where something like you play...
you want a 1,000-point game, so you turn up with 1,000. I'm like, actually, you're defending, I'm turning up with 2,000, unlucky.
I've got 1,000 point of guard holding the centre against 2,000 points of your Tau, who need to get into the centre of my army.
Yeah.
It's like, that would make for an interesting game. Whether or not it would prove to be a one-sided game or not doesn't really matter, because it's...
You play 1,000, I'll play 500 and just play my knight.
I just have to kill the knight.
Just standing there in the middle, like, yeah.
It's like, I think it'd be interesting to play a few games like that sort of level of narrative game where it's so dead simple that you're just feeding the meat grinder, because it's kind of like, must take the centre. Your Ultramarines wouldn't want to back off from engagements because they want to make sure they stood in the centre.
Sure, we stood there, yeah.
You wouldn't want to just keep falling back. It'd be interesting to see how Gullman tries to support an army that's trying to take the centre when he's not really... You can't just be in the centre of your army because your army's deployed as like a ring around the enemy.
Oh, it's just attacking a wedge.
Yeah. At which point the enemy is able to concentrate fire, but then they just put all they do is deploy all their stuff in a line in front of you. You have to get through wall after wall after wall because they only have to worry about the attack coming from one direction.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get some Planet Striker games in. I think they're going to be fun to give a whirl.
Well, we've got our Bastion.
We need a second one, really. Most of the missions... 3 is what you need to be able to cover all of the deployment setups. You can play half of them with 2. So, yeah, guys. We definitely advise getting a copy of Chapter Approved if you can. There's a bunch of good stuff in here. If you played any army that's still living out of an index, you want to get it.
Even if you're not, just get it.
Gives you plenty more play options.
If you play 40k,
get Chapter Approved.
Yeah, we would highly advise it.
It's basically like a DLC for 40k that you need to get.
Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on Chapter Approved if you've got it. Let us know about your thoughts and guesses with the Primarchs in the future.
Best gaming moment.
Send us your favourite gaming moments, send us your favourite hobby moments, and we'll see you in the new year for hopefully a wonderful year full of Vox Chatter. We've got it rolling now, it's becoming a regular thing, we're enjoying it, we hope you guys enjoy listening to it. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and there'll be plenty more content like this. So in the meantime...
Plenty more of my sexy voice.
Don't forget to follow me on Twitter @CountHillary, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.